Okay, here's the first question of the stats test you just sat. So the first question, hopefully you can see, it's clearly a binomial distribution with 10 trials, probability of success getting a sixth. It's important to write that down so you can identify which distribution it is and the parameters. That will gain you method marks. Also, identifying what you're trying to work out. So at least, at least two sixes. I would then show that you're going to go to less than or equal to allow you to use your calculator. Anything you write that's calculator display, you won't get marks for. So here, this writing here, this 1 minus binomial CDF, and then whatever the conditions are of that, isn't going to get you any marks, but in terms of a method, at least it shows what you're doing. So round to binomial CDF, and there's all the information. So we get 10, a sixth, 1, and that gives us 0.515. And I'd write down the full calculator display here so that in case you make any errors with the rounding, you're not losing marks. Remember, the default is 3 significant figures. So on a question like this, if you just rely on the calculator and you just write this down, they can't give you method marks for this because it's not mathematical method, it's calculator keystrokes. So if you were to get this wrong for whatever reason by pressing the button wrong or rounding it incorrectly, you're risking losing all your method marks. Whereas showing something like this shows you method marks. You've clearly identified the distribution, what you're doing with it. You're going to get most of the marks even if you round this incorrectly. The second question, looking at the second question, it's talking about when the first 6 arises. So you could say this time x is a geometric distribution, probability of success is a sixth, and we're looking for the first 6 to appear on the 5th row. So we're looking for that. So we can either write down the working, we're going to have 4 failures and a success, or we could use our calculator. So again, we could go in here and go geometric PDF, p-value of a sixth, and when do we want that to occur? At 5, and that gives us our answer of 0.0803, etc. Again, writing down the full calculator display and then rounding to 3 significant figures. Okay, so even if you write this down and use your calculator, then just double check what you've done here. Does it work? Yeah, same thing. But at least you showed some working here and you're going to get the marks. Hopefully we can see for question 3. So for question 3, this is a negative binomial, okay, because it's talking about the third 6 on the 12th row. Also for a negative binomial, we need to put down our conditions clearly. So we're wanting when is the third success occurring and what's the probability of getting a success. And we're looking for the probability that x equals 5 because we want to have the 5th row where 12, I'm looking at the wrong question, 12, because we want the third 6 to be on the 12th row. Now, you could just use the negative binomial formula. Personally, I prefer to think about what's happening here and saying, well, I need 2 6s in the first 11 and then a 6. So this bit is a binomial and then a 6. So what's the chance of getting 2 6s in the first 11? 10 times that by, and the probability of getting a 6. So if I'm using the calculator, I can go binomial PDF. Excuse me. So the first 11 throws, probability of a 6, and what's the chance of getting 2 out of them? It doesn't matter what order, we're just looking for 2 in the first 11, and then times that answer by a sixth. Okay, so we can do that on here. So 11 trials, probability of success of a sixth, with an x value of 2. So that's the chance of getting 2 in the first 11, and then our next one there, giving us an answer of 0.0493. Again, write the full calculator display down and then round it to 3 significant figures. So I suppose looking at this, I should put a bit more working in there. Okay, so I could say here, I could say y is a binomial 11 trials, probability of success 6. So this is the probability that y equals 2. I am getting 2 successes in 11 times by a 6th. So I probably should have put a bit more working in there because this isn't mathematical working, whereas this is working. So I'm explaining that we're showing here 2 6s in the first 11, that's from this distribution, then a 6, which is that 6 there, giving us our answer.